Well, folks, as you can see, I have somebody new that you've not seen before. Its name is Francis Tansico, and this is the video for the 19th of August, and the title is Philippine Election Rigged by Smartmatic in 2016. Please take it away, Francis.
All right. Ron, thank you so much for inviting me to your videos. I have been following your videos, and as you know, as the conveyor of the Flower of Life Peace Award, I have given you that honor. And just a little about myself, I'm not really, just as a disclaimer, I'm not really, yes, that's it. Thank you for that. As a disclaimer, I'm not really an expert in, in election laws whatsoever and all that. But what I am fighting for, why I'm here, and why I agreed to be with you today is because I'm passionate about fighting for truth, and I'm passionate about fighting for my vote, which has been desecrated by these foreigners who came to the Philippines. What I'm talking about is the 2016 Philippine election. Particularly in the vice presidential election. Just a little background, the candidate that won for the election is President Rodrigo Duterte. He won 16 million as the winning number. However, he was actually shaved off about 5 million from his votes because they're trying to make those who are cheating, the Liberal Party, they call them Dilawan in the Philippines, tried to make their person who won the election by shaving off 5 million. But Duterte is so popular, they were not able to do that. So they went into their plan B, which is to rig the vice presidential election and put somebody else, and they managed to succeed in that. What happens is, from what I've read and from what I've understand, and from what, because I've been following this, because on the night of the election, Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Was winning the election on the count on the election. He was winning and 1 million ahead of everybody else on the counting. And then of course suddenly there was a stop, like 2 hours or 3 hours. Suddenly it just stops transmitting. So everybody, I went to bed because I felt like I cannot wait for this result anymore. So everybody kind of felt like did the same thing. I know that was the case because this happened in 2016, and I've been following it, and I've read people's comments and news items and all that. That what happens next was that when everybody woke up like a thief in the night, Bongbong Marcos was overtaken by a matter of only about 200,000 votes by a lady who is unknown in the Philippines, completely unknown, and her name is Leni Robredo, and she's come from that. There's a lot of things that doesn't connect with her, because when she ran for vice president, from the region where she's from, for example, if she's from California, there's about 5 candidates from California alone who's fighting for the vice presidency. So that 5 candidates, a lot of them are popular than her. And in fact, the vice president that was chosen by the winning candidate, Duterte, also must have gotten a lot of votes because that president won. If you're following my drift. So basically, she won, and she won like almost like the number of the president. And then of course well, I and everybody else encouraged Senator Bongbong Marcos to fight for our votes, because if you don't, we would have made a mistake of voting for you. So people encourage him, and he fought for our vote, which I am very proud of, because he's fighting for it. Because I want to fight for my vote. I'm very passionate about it. So what he did is he lodged a case in the Philippines. Is the Supreme Court that does the recount when something like this happens, and they put up a sort of a body called a Presidential Electoral Tribunal, or PET. So that's the one that's following the case. What happens next is that the chief justice at that time was somebody that has been put in place illegally by the former president, who won in 2010 and who also won with a very what's the proper term, suspicious way of winning, because it was also the Smartmatic that was doing
And
the
Smartmatic is the company that manufactures these voting machines.
exactly. Smartmatic is the one that was contracted to transmit the result of the election. So they are the company that has been that is owned and operated by a person who was who's from England, who was the campaign manager back in 1986 of Cory Aquino, who did not win that election, but decided that they want to go ahead and make the people's power, which I call really as a power grab. But anyway, that's way back. So this the same person is the one who's been doing this rigging of election in Venezuela and even here in America. And the same company is now banned in Venezuela. They're now banned here in America as well. And I'm hoping that they will get banned in the Philippines as well. Anyway, going back to the story. Oh, before I continue, can I just say I hope you can invite attorney Glenn Chong, because he's the one who is fighting about this, because he's the one who's got an expertise, because he's been researching this, and he has a good know-how about all of this on how to explain the cheating, and he's got all the evidence that you can find. So if you would be interested, I hope I could connect him with you, and you could interview him as well for that
Well,
matter.
we'll see how the connections work and how it plays out, and we'll explore that.
Okay, so then after the election, as a statement as he is, Ferdinand Marcos, Bongbong Marcos, did put up a fight, and that went to the PET, which is the Presidential Electoral Tribunal, and that has taken so long for the recount, for the actual counting to start. That has started just this year. That's 2 years after,
Wow.
because they have been trying desperately to slow down, to delay, and all tactics that they have done to not continue with the count. Basically, the person who's been put in charge of this PET, or presidential presidential electoral tribunal, is a person who is a classmate since elementary years of the former president, who said publicly before the election in 2016 that he does not want a Marcos to go back to power at all costs.
Okay.
He said that publicly. But of course, what if the people are the one who has to say. Is the people who's the voice of the people is the voice of God. Is the people who are the real power. Is the people who can give real mandate to a leader. And then, of course, they have been trying desperately to paint a really, really bad picture of President Duterte, so that they can put, so they can oust President Duterte and put this lady who's not been voted by the people. As it turns out, the Commission on Election chief has been outed by his wife, and
Wow.
his wife said publicly that he has received commission from Smartmatic And when that happens, that was a big, controversy in the Philippines. And this guy, Andy Bautista, the former Commission on Election, COMELEC as we call that in the Philippines, has left the country as basically run away, and he is now wanted in the Philippines. I believe he now lives in America.
Where is Smartmatic headquartered?
Smartmatic headquarters, I believe, is in London, UK.
Okay, you might have said that, and I'm just, repeating it
No,
in case
I haven't said that. I just said that the sort of a founder or chief executive of it is the guy whose name is Lord Malloch, and he's a British, and he's the one who created all this chaos since 1986 in the Philippines. So
Wow.
pretty much a lot of election in the Philippines since that time are rigged. And then the counting has started 2 years on from the time, because they cannot delay it anymore. And as I've said, the leader of
I'm
this,
surprised they've been able to delay it for 2 years already.
they they can, because the people who are in power are those appointed by the former president, who is, it is a big syndicate. It's a big
Yes, it
syndicate.
is. It's that way all over the world.
All
Whether
over the
people
world.
realize it or not.
They are connected. They are connected here in what's going on in America as well. So we, the people, really have to help each other. Filipinos have to help Americans. Americans have to help Filipinos. I don't mean the government, but we, the ordinary people, in fighting for this, because we are all in the same boat here.
Yes, we are.
So what happened is 2 years on, they started the count. Finally, after 2 years. Then when they started the count, the ballot boxes were found out to be wet. And these are boxes that has been purchased through this company by the billions, and they're meant to be waterproof. So ballot boxes were found to have cigarette butts, battery water, seawater, and they're wet and they cannot be used, and the audit logs are missing and all this. And these are the ones that come from that province or region where the vice president who supposedly won came from.
And
So
it was a virtual unknown in most other parts of the Philippines.
exactly. And if you follow this, this event like what I have, you can see the difference during the time they were campaigning, because Bongbong Marcos is flocked like a rock star by a lot of people all the time. And when people take a photo with him, they are all smiles and all excited and all that. Whereas on the other end, if you pan out a video, you will see nothing there on the chairs. But as it is in America, the mainstream media in the Philippines are complicit in this crime. I call it a crime because it's a crime. And so they discovered all this criminal activity. Then move forward to this year, I think it was a month ago or something. This person I mentioned to you, attorney Glenn Chong, who is a clean election advocate, went to the Senate to present his evidence, and he presented really well. However, the Senate hearing, which should be televised, like here in America, has not been televised on that day.
Wow.
They completely suppress it and all that. And of course, thanks to internet and all, we were able to follow this story. And the story was the biggest the biggest story on that revelation was that the election happened on May 9, 2016. So people went to vote on May 9, 2016. So the counting should have happened, the transmission of the vote should have happened on May 9, 2016. However, he showed on his on that hearing in the Senate that there were transmission happening the day before the election and transmitting votes to Leni Robredo, and it's transmitting a day before the election. Can you imagine that people were not voting yet, and that they're already transmitting election?
That's
And
how
of
they
course,
fix them. It's just one way.
and then of course, videos have surfaced of people in groups with ballot blank ballot, papers that they're pre-shading. And do you know, when you go to an election, this is another thing that they have found out, is that if you and I go to uh, an election booth and put our vote, we would shade a circle and an oval completely. Isn't that correct? That's what we do because that's the instruction.
Yeah, I haven't voted for a while, but yes, I think that's true here too.
I mean, common sense dictates that that's how it should be.
Fill in the whole area, yes.
In the whole area. Basically, what another thing that they discovered during the counting of these votes in the Presidential Electoral Tribunal, when they started opening up the boxes, was that a lot of those votes only have about like a pinpoint shade, or 25% shade, and a lot of those 25% shaded votes are also going to this candidate who supposedly won, and a lot of the votes that went to the other candidates who's fighting for it, Bongbong Marcos, are 100% shade. So it tells you, and then so it connects with those videos that came out where in a group of people have a lot of ballots that they were pre-shading, basically. So they pre-shading thousands and thousands so that they can feed it into the machine so that they can transmit that result. So one dot connects after the other. So that's what happened now. It's like I really, it makes me angry, but at the same time, you just have to be, what you call this, take this in in an easy way so that you won't get your blood pressure up. So that's what's happening in the Philippines, and I'm hope this group of people, who's the Liberal Party, they are desperately trying to oust the president because they want to
that woman to be in where they can manipulate her.
Exactly, and so that they can manipulate everything as well, because
Right.
there is a grassroots fight now by the people to ban it. But smartmatic is not yet banned, but people are fighting to have it banned. And of course, we're gonna have, like you do here, you have the midterm election. We will have our midterm by 2019, and Smartmatic again is on the picture. They're the ones again who's going to transmit and read the result. So I'm hoping that through your help, through your video, and through your expose, this is being exposed obviously by local bloggers and video bloggers and all that. But it's the wider the scope, the better it is, and because this is about the future of my countrymen, my future as
And
well,
of humanity.
out of humanity.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're good. If something doesn't change, I really believe that human life will no longer be able to exist. I don't know what the time window is on that, but I don't think it's all that many years away.
yes. So yeah, I'm hoping that there's somebody else that you can invite, because I have to admit, and my disclaimer is that I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert in election law, what have you. But there is one person in the Philippines who's almost single-handedly fighting, a Goliath, an institution, of course, with the help of ordinary people like me, to put out what really happened, and we are hoping that the real vice president will be able to be to get his place, because that's we the people has given him that mandate, not this lady. And in fact, the Philippine president has said in three different occasions. In 2016, he said that he knows for a fact that Bongbong Marcos was cheated out of his rightful place. And then halfway through, I think a year later, he reiterated that, my vice president would have been Bongbong Marcos if it hasn't been cheated. And very recently, I think about a week ago or less than a few days, he said that he wanted to resign because, sometimes you feel like, oh, you get exasperated with all this problem if you're a leader of a country, especially if you're a leader of a country who has all these oligarchs trying to oust you, on day one.
Yeah, like Trump.
Exactly. What's happening in America is exactly the same thing happening in the Philippines. It's just it's just a different place. So he said very recently that he said he wanted to resign, but he cannot resign because he think that the vice president is incompetent. And of course, that vice president, in all her video, in everything that she says, she is just sound like she knows nothing. And she was found out to be involved as well with, or if not her husband who died, and her family, her brother, who are drug dealers.
Oh,
That's
wow.
that's what the the group who call themselves We Are Collective is has found out, because they have followed this story, and their conclusion is this vice president is a danger to the country, because if he becomes a president, drug will proliferate in the Philippines and is going to ruin a whole nation. Just like how China was ruined by the opiums in 1890, something like that. So that's how they're trying to destroy the Philippines. And of course, it has to be said that although the Philippines is known to be a third world country, just because the West has decided that it is that. But historically, and if we are to follow the gold standard and all that, the Philippines, without bragging with you, even David Wilcock's uh, research has found out as well that the Philippines is the richest country in the world. In fact, no less than the President of America, George Bush, the son,
Okay.
who was asked,
Baby Bush.
Baby Bush, who was asked in an interview one time by a reporter, and he was asked, "Who do you think is the richest country in the world?" And his answer was the Philippines, because the Philippines has tons and tons and tons of gold, and the reason for that is because the Philippines is geographically located in a place wherein, when there were no planes before, it was the sort of an entry point of the East and the West for trading. So, as you know, in history, for thousands of years, people traded with gold to buy out the Far East, what spices, product and all that. Because as it is, I've lived in England for almost 15 years of my life, and I know that during the winter they cannot grow anything, they cannot grow any crops. So for thousands and thousands of years, that has been ongoing, and gold has been going to us, to China and all that. And of course, in exchange, they get the Chinese ware, our product, the gold, the garlic, peppers, cacao, and all of this. And then so that gold has accumulated in the Philippines and a lot of Asian countries. So it is well known that the Philippines is very rich country. That's the reason, I think, more than all, all this story about election cheating and all that. are probably just a consequence of the real motive of why they want to destroy the Philippines and the consciousness of the people.
Yeah, Indonesia, I think, has a lot of gold too, in
That's
addition to the Philippines. Those are two of the actually the richest countries in the world, from things that I've heard others say.
and I agree. And you know what? Indonesia is our neighbor.
Of course.
Is our neighbor. So that's pretty much connects to the story of the trading between the West and the East, because at the time these countries are headed or lorded by royalty, by all this Muslim royalty, all this um, uh, what do you call them, sultan, just like the Sultan of Brunei. So that's what it is. So what I'm hoping really to happen is for the truth to come out, and for people to take it to themselves to fight, because we all know that no one's gonna come to save us, to help us. But if we fight for it, and if we put it out there, and we highlight it and all that, and the
Got
conscious.
about 4 minutes left.
Okay, well, pretty much I have said the sort of the conclusion of the story. So I'm hoping that I could get Attorney Chong and you connected, so that this can be given, and outside the Philippines, American, because you are in America, American sort of exposure as well. Because as it is, there's a lot of Filipinos here in America who needs to be enlightened as it is.
Well, America, of course, is a melting pot. We have a lot of people from all over the world here in this country.
And that's
And
true.
they're trying to turn Europe into a melting pot, but it's backfiring because they're bringing all the Muslims into some of the European countries, and crime has shot way up. And
I'm telling you, I completely agree with you. When I first moved in London, in my street at the time, you would barely see, I'm not against them, but you would barely see all these girls in burqa, that girls who's completely covered with her face. You
right,
would barely see them. But 15 years on, just when I left London, my street, you will see them in every corner, all the time, every time and every hour. It's like a proliferation of that. So there is, in fact, a book which titled that's it's titled Londonistan. Basically,
London is
London will be will be changed. Its name will be changed into Londonistan, and so that's it, really.
Anyway, well, I do appreciate you taking the time to make your point and to get people's awareness up as best we can. And I'm looking forward to connecting with that attorney that you mentioned from the Philippines, who's fighting for Marcos and for a fair election, which I think we all need everywhere, everywhere and in every country.
Yes, that's true. Thank you for giving me this time. I'm not normally a person who would go out there and do a video blog and all that, but I felt like this is really important, and I felt like I'm not fighting for a dynasty or what have you. I'm fighting for my vote, because I want my vote to be counted properly. I know it is only one vote, but it's very important, because my vote and a lot of million others vote has been taken away from us, and we don't have a leader that is one mandated by the people.
Right.
So I hope I can. I don't know Attorney Chong personally, but I try my best to get him connected to you, because I felt like he has a real what you call this, understanding of this thing.
Okay, well, I do know there are some honest attorneys, although my
Yes.
experience is that it's a very corrupt institution.
Yes, that's sad, isn't it? Because there's a lot of lawyers who's there to destroy the law, and very few are left with integrity. And I feel like this guy is one of those. I'm trying to be optimistic and hopeful, that our people.
I try to. Sometimes it's hard.
I'm with you. I am with you with everything that's happening around us. It's but we can only be optimistic, and hope that if whether you believe in God or not, that They are here to help us with our quest for, for making, for co-creating a beautiful world together. That's what Imelda Marcos always writes in her autograph. Let's co-create a beautiful world together. Basically, let's all co-create a heaven on earth, because there's no other heaven. It's earth. It's our community that we have to put into heaven, isn't it?
Okay, well, thank you. And as I always say, namaste.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye for now.